Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to another weekend KPC Live. Long time no see. I am right on time today at 1 a.m. sharp here in Seoul, South Korea, May 12th. Welcome everybody. Hoodies and toppings all around the world. Let me know where y'all are watching from. I recognize the Bard. Oh, my phone just went crazy. The Bard from Sweden, 6 p.m. The Tosser, hello. David, fighting, thank you. Gugui from Mexico City, hello everybody. So before we go on, let me ask you a favor to smash that like button. And if you are rewatching this or you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, because 68% of my viewers are not subscribed. That is crazy. Why do you watch and not subscribe, right? Yeah, from Dominican Republic. Hey, Stosh, you're in Korea. Whoa, okay, welcome. Fort Worth, Texas, New Jersey, Mother's Day in the U.S. Yes, Parents' Day just passed. It was this week, and I did some good stuff to my parents. But hello, everybody. Brooklyn, Philippines, midnight over here. New Jersey, USA. Great, we have a big fam over here today, but as you see in the title, I have some stuff to share with you guys. So today I'm going to be talking about an uncomfortable situation that just happened today. It's really fresh, hot tea. It's about marriage, and let me know what you think about this when I unfold the story. Other than that, I'm going to be talking about leaving Seoul soon, quite literally, and maybe in the future. Yeah. Also, I'll give you a little bit of life updates. Feeling very lonely nowadays. I'll give you context on that as well throughout the stream, so do not leave until you finish it, okay? So yeah, oh wow, everybody, Ontario, Simi Valley, California, Utah. Okay, so prompt. Yes, thank you. So yeah, so let's just go on right into the tea. So what happened is basically it's about marriage. Nothing personal or anything. Nothing about my own marital status. But what happens is, Korea has quite a unique culture in its own marriage scene, and I hope this person is not watching the stream. I doubt that he or she will. But what happened is, so basically, just to give you context on what happens when a marriage occurs in Korea, is that someone decides to get married. They find a partner and they lock in, they set a wedding date, and then they prepare for all those kind of things. And then usually the wedding date is, locked in ahead, maybe 6 months, 1 year max, because the wedding halls and the conventions and the hotels are fully booked. It's pretty weird. It's pretty bizarre when the whole country and the whole media is saying nobody's getting married, nobody's getting kids anymore. But the thing is, these wedding centers are all fully booked. But anyways, because of that, most of the couples just reserve their wedding halls and everything, ceremonies, way ahead. I think it's pretty similar in the West and the whole world as well. You got wedding planners and all that, right? So they do photos, they do the hair, makeup, whatever, and send gifts to each other, to each families, meet the families, blah 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 blah. Okay, so that all happens, but for the not for the actual bride and groom. But for the people who are invited, there is this unique culture you might have heard of. Which is marital gifts, right? Ceremonial, celebrative gifts, whatever you want to call it. We call it 축의금. That means out of celebration, I'm gonna give you some money, right? So I've talked about this a couple of times on the channel, and if you're close to that person, it depends on you. It's voluntary at the end of the day, but it's voluntary but not voluntary. So at the end of the day, it depends on how much you want to give the person, and it's pretty transactional, I would have to say. So the underlying unspoken rule is that if you go to this person's wedding and you give them the 축의금, the money, then that person will probably come back to your wedding and then pay back that debt, if you want to call it debt or something. It goes that way, right? So it's very transactional. And, you know, as I said, depending on the level of intimacy you have with the whoever the bride or groom it is you are attending the wedding for, you can decide your level of the money, right? So usually, you know, if you, let's just say you're best friends, and I have like a nice, you know, average job or something like that. I'm middle class, right? I'm not anything. I'm not like a super successful CEO or business person or whatever. I'm not rich, basically. So if you're just like a normal person and you go to like your best friend's wedding, like your best friend's wedding, or like a very, very serious like business partner or whatever. So let's just say I go to Danny's wedding in the future. I would say like that's definitely up to you, but I would, you know, give maybe like $500, something like that. I'm just gonna like, you know, what do you call it? 반올림. Just like not converted into Korean won, okay? I would say it's like $400 or something, but like, yeah, let's just say $500 if I were to go to my best friend's wedding. And then it all goes down from there. So if it's like a friend you've known from elementary school, like the old days, your homie, whatever, you could give that person like $300, $200 or whatever. But then I would say the marginal point is like, you know, from 200 and above, it's like someone that is dear and someone you're very, very close to. And then below that is a little bit more superficial, business, casual, you know, acquaintance, blah, 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 right? So if it's someone from business that you barely know and it's someone from your company and you were just invited or whatsoever, you just go and just do the bare minimum. I would say even $50 is enough, but like because of inflation nowadays, a lot of people just say like the minimum starts at 100, which is a pretty big toll for a lot of people that, you know, like the food prices and everything, like the living costs are up now. So if you were spending $100 per wedding and you know a lot of people, then that will stack up. And actually I've been taking records of what how much money I've given to people throughout like the past few years with weddings, and it's already summed up to more than $2,000. I'm not kidding. I've been to more than, I guess, 10 to 15 weddings, right? A lot of people around me are getting married, and each time if you spend more than $100, it just piles up like that. So one good thing, I'm going on a tangent here, but one good thing for business owners is that small businesses like me, and big businesses too, but this is all going to be very like just petty for them, but for small business owners like me, I can use this as expenses for real. So if I go to my tax accountant and say I use this much money for congratulatory gifts on a wedding, and if you have those, the interesting thing is you have to screen cap the wedding invitations and prove that you were there and you gave that much cash to the person, and then you can then the National Tax Service actually recognizes that as a business expense. So that's good. That's one good thing for me. But anyways, where was I? So yeah, the tiers of giving money to the people differ from person to person. So I would argue, starts from 50, then 100. Then if that person's a little bit more important to you, I don't think a lot of people do like 150, because that's like a very odd number. You know, you might as well just up it to 200, right? Like we call it 정없어. You don't have 정. So yeah, like 150, you see that and the person's gonna be like, okay, what does this mean? So like if it's someone a little bit more dear to you, you just up it to 200 and stuff like that. So, you know, it's just very systematic, and it's just very transactional, and a lot of people just debate about this system, and a lot of people are not fond of it, and people are like, oh, in this economy, it's just really piles up and becomes a burden, blah blah blah, all that. I feel the same. A lot of people relate to that, and people are like, let's just get rid of all of this. I feel like the culture is changing slowly, but then there's this vicious cycle that one generation just has to cut because people are like, like my parent generation, like even myself, I spent this much already. I'm gonna recoup that, right? So I'm gonna want to have people to come to my wedding and give me the amount of money I paid to the people I went to, right? So like, unless someone's like rich enough and like, oh, I'm not accepting any of them, and then these people just like become the majority of this society, everyone's just gonna be like, I'm gonna get my money back. So like, no, the cycle goes on, right? So anyways, okay, I give you like a whole 101 class on like what happens with the weddings and marriages, right? But anyways, what's wrong with 150? It's I don't know, like there was this incident when I went to like one of my friends, like a female friend from college, her marriage, her wedding, and I went there, and I went with Danny, and then Leo was there too. I was there, the three friends, we all knew her, and I was just there. If when you go to the wedding, there's usually a reception person. It's usually the person's sibling or like a cousin or someone related, and the person's just like sitting there and collecting the money, and they give you vouchers for the buffet or the whatever the restaurant that the wedding is providing to you. So this is transactional too. If you don't gift the person, the bride or the groom, congratulatory money, you get no food coupon. You don't get a voucher for the buffet. So yeah, that's how it works. But anyways, there's a money keeper over there, and there are like envelopes just prepared for you, and there are pens, and you write your name on like the name list, all that, and then you tuck in the money inside and you put it inside the box, the money collection box, and there's usually ATMs right next to the wedding convention center or whatever. And yeah, so I went, and I was thinking, I haven't seen her in a while, ever since college. I mean, we were friends during college, and I have fond memories and all that, so I might as well go to her wedding, and I was glad that she invited me. So she was one of the earliest people that were getting married. So yeah, I was like, yeah, might as well go. And then Danny and I went, and I was willing to give her like $100. I was just like, yeah, $100. I didn't even give that much thought to it. I was like, $100. And then like I prepared it already from my house. Like I had an envelope and everything, so I put all the money in. I was like just ready to put it in the box, and then Danny right next to me and Leo were like, they were putting in some money, but then we have $50 bills in Korea, right? The yellow ones. And then I saw more than two going in. And then even among friends, like, okay, like if you're super comfortable with each other, you would be like, so how much are you paying? And they'd be like, okay, yeah, they'll just fully disclose how much they are paying. But then, there are awkward situations where like everybody's economic status, like financial status, is different, and you don't want to really get into like the pocket situations and all that. And it's just like nunchi, right? And it's just like you might get peer pressure to pay even more or whatever if the other person's doing that. So like I was just like, looking at the envelope Danny was holding and Leo was holding, and there were more than two $50 bills, and I was like, oh shit, they're paying more than 100. I'm in the same group as them. We were invited as the same group, and we probably have the same amount of like intimacy with the person. So when the person is going to go through the books again and check who paid how much and all that, they'll see, oh, I only paid 100 while Danny and Leo paid like 150 and something like that, right? So I was like, oh shit, okay, last minute, I had some extra change on me, so then I pulled out a $50 bill and then added one more in, and it was 150, and then I put it in, and I was like, phew, okay, because like I was like, there's no way these people are paying 200, because like we're not that close. Like to my standards, 200 is pretty high, like I'm struggling out here to get my own meals. Like, how am I gonna pay 200 for a person that I haven't seen since college, right? So there's no way that, yeah, like so. But then at the end, I just opened up at the buffet we were eating together, and I was like, "So how much did you pay again?" Like just to confirm, and then they were like 200. I was like, "Oh shit." And I was the only one that paid. At least I paid 150. I mean, there's no obligation that I have to go on par with them, but then it just felt so weird because like I was like, "What? You guys paid 200? I paid 150," and then they were like, 150? Who pays 150? It's either 100 or 200. What are you doing? Like the person's going to like check the books and say you're probably going to be the only one that paid 150, and they're going to probably try to interpret it like some kind of hidden meaning behind it because it's an odd number, you know? Like so yeah. But anyways, that's a funny story that happened, unrelated to today's story. Maybe somewhat related, but going back to the main track. So yeah, like I'm just giving you all this context because you know you have to know all this. So what usually happens is like, okay, it's not entirely like it's not entirely stealing money from other people. You're not like pulling a knife at them and saying like if you don't pay you don't get to eat or something like that. So there's another layer before this. So usually what happens is like when you are done reserving the wedding hall, you usually send out messages to your friends who you're inviting to the wedding personally, like in person. You send out Kakao Talk messages, or you know, just I don't know, I guess like give it to them in person if you're in like company settings or whatever. So yeah, that's what you usually do. We have like e-invitations, electronic invitations, and they're very fancy. They have like BGMs coming out when you like. Sometimes I get super shocked because my audio's at top volume, and I open these like wedding invitations, and they're like there's like a ballad song blasting off. I'm in the subway like you know, that happens sometimes. But then they're like fancy pictures, like cute pictures of them and going to Jeju Island and doing all these like concept photos, blah blah blah. I'm not jealous, I'm not butthurt, but yeah, that's what usually happens. And then it's like, oh, we are getting married, and some like poem over there, and like, oh, May 17th, these two are destined to be together forever, happy blah, and bride, groom name, blah blah, and then like parents name, and then you know, and then we have the bank account over here to people who won't be able to attend, like Shinon Bank 110 blah 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 blah. I've seen some people who have like Bitcoin cryptocurrency ETH addresses. I'm not kidding. But yeah, so you usually hand out these invites to the people that you want to invite to the wedding. And now this is when it gets pretty awkward. So there's a massive debate within the Korean society on like what level, like what layer of people do you select as like do you put out invites to? Like, so imagine you're getting married and you have to send out these invitations. So if I were to just send it to my best friends, that's a no-brainer, right? I'm gonna invite all my best friends. But then I, as like a introvert and as a person that doesn't have a huge social circle or whatever, my best friends would be like a handful, like 6 people max or something like that, right? So you don't want only 6 people coming to your wedding, right? So I send out all the messages to them first, like, I'm gonna have a wedding, here's the invitation, let's group up together one day, and like I'll buy you some good beef, soju, whatever. So this is what you usually do. You prep them up, you treat them good. I mean, they're gonna pay $100 each to you, but then you buy them at least a good meal that's worth like, you know, maybe $20-$30 each, and you do the math and there's going to be a surplus. So that's how it usually works. It's like manners. Like, you invite them, you see them personally, and you deliver the words and saying like, I'm getting married with this person at that date, here's some good food, come to my wedding, pay $100. Not everyone necessarily thinks of it as this calculative, but this is how it works, right? And yeah, so that's how it works. But going back, like, you're not only just gonna invite 6 people. Then you go to another layer, like, some people that you might know from college or work that you think you're close to. You're close enough to invite maybe some of your, like, parents' acquaintances, like their friends or whatever, like, business people. But then, like, when you're short on people, you become concerned and you worry that your wedding's going to be empty. That's one of the fears. And also, because we have, like, a custom of all grouping together at the end and taking group photos all together, and we have to put up our, like, phone flashes on it, like, oh wow, congratulations. And then the more the people, you look more like, you're successful. You have a good life, all that. And it's all about, like, other people's views and being conscious about them. But yeah, so the layer goes down, and then you go through your list and you're like, do I send this invite to this person or not? Like, I haven't seen him in years, but then we had good old days back in college. I haven't texted him for a while. Like, we haven't met for years, but then we have good memories. I don't know. So, like, it's very, like, awkward to send out those messages, right? So it's just like the case of when I was summoned or, like, invited from that female friend. So, yeah, like, some people who have enough friends, enough close friends, don't even need to scrape that surface, that level. But I would say, like, most people in the world do not have more than, like, 30 close friends or whatever. They would have to definitely go into their business or their kind of superficial level friends to invite to their wedding, to, like, make it full. And actually, the second reason I was talking about, not to make your wedding look empty, but also to get more money, right? Because weddings cost a lot, and if you want to have a good start with your honeymoon and all that, the more the money, the better, right? So, like, the more people you invite means the more money. So yeah, be real and different. Only invite those small amount of people. Well, if you're rich, you can do that. If you're willing to burn, like, so let's say, the cheapest wedding hall in Korea, we call them conventions because they're like factories. Like, they allocate 2 hours, I think 1.5 hour per wedding, and then there's like a 30 minute intermission. So, like, they go all day long from 9 a.m. to like 5 p.m. on the weekdays. So you're in slot 1, slot 2, and then they have like 5 halls in one building. So there's, like, let's say mathematically, there's, like, let's say 5 slots per day, 5 halls, 25 couples. There's like 25 couples getting married in, like, a single building. And then they take turns going to the same buffet at the second floor and all that. And it's just very, very effective. But even those very, like, affordable and efficient wedding halls, from what I heard, they start at the renting price of at least 10K. At least. So for that 1.5 hour, that's like the minimum price. And then if you go to, like, hotels, if you go to, like, outdoor places, let's not even talk about that, because, like, that goes up to, like, outrageous amounts, like 30K, 50K. It almost goes to, like, 100K for, like, 5 stars, like, even more than that. I don't even know that realm, because, like, I've never even dreamt of doing that. But all those celebrities doing it, like the hotel Chosun Hotel or, like, the Grand Hyatt or something, like, they go definitely over 100K for just renting that venue, right? So if you're okay spending, let's say, like, the bare minimum 10K, and you only call, like, 6 people and you get, like, $600, and then you pay the rest, like, $8,000 or something like that, and then you also pay for the buffet too. So if you're okay with that, then I mean, it's your call, but then that's how it works. But anyways, so yeah, no. I'm not getting married soon. That's not why. So what happened is, I've been going to a lot of weddings. So there was this one person. It was totally unintentional, okay? So I've known him from my exchange days from Singapore. So I went to Singapore in 2014, 15, somewhere around that. So it's been like 10 years, a decade. We were very close. This person was the first person I actually met in Singaporean soil. He was from the same school. He was a hyung, and we even shared like a dorm for a while. And then we went all like to all these places together. We traveled to Thailand and everything all together. We have very great memories. Ever since we came back to Korea, I guess we were just like, just working hard with our own lives. That person just worked hard. So we had separate tracks. And then, the Singapore exchange fam had reunions every single year, like in 2017, 18. And then people were busy. So maybe skip that year. And then 2021, 3. And then it kind of like dissolved, right? That's how people function. And quite honestly, I haven't seen this person for more than 2 years, I would say. And it's not like that we just connect on a regular basis. No DMs, no Kakao Talks or anything. But then, so this is where it gets tricky. It's very subjective to each person and each person's situation, like whether you're short on people you invite or whatever. I don't know. I'm not assuming that person was short on like invites or anything. But then, so I got an invite from that person. So hear me out. I did not do this on purpose. Quite ironically, I think I was on a business trip, or I think maybe I was in Singapore actually for like my past business trip like a couple weeks ago. And I was just so like, for some reason, I was just so super busy at the moment. I saw that katok, and then it came, and then he was like, "Oh, what are you doing, David? Like, I hope you're having like you're successful nowadays. Like, I just wanted to give you some good news that," and it's obviously gonna be like wedding invitation, right? And then when I saw that, I was like, okay, like, oh, I want to congratulate him or anything. It was kind of like, okay, so he thinks I'm like a close person, so he's sending out an invite, and I was kind of debating, okay, whether should I go or not. And the moment, like, the human brain can process a lot of things in a millisecond, right? And then I was preoccupied with something else, like very urgent business. So I was like, I just like kind of swayed my attention back to what I was doing. And then maybe because of the time zones or jet lags or whatever business and like the reception, whatever, the message just went down, because I'm that kind of person of like, if I have like a certain text message that needs my attention, a certain amount of like thought before I actually text anything. I'm not that kind of person who's like, oh, I see a message, I'm gonna reply right away. I'm gonna see the pretext, the preview of it, and then I'm gonna think what I want to reply. And if it's something like that, if it's something of a level of a wedding invite, I'm just gonna think of like what I'm gonna say or like what my plan is, and then get back to that person within a few hours or a day or something like that, right? So, but then I totally forgot about it, because maybe, so like deep down, maybe I was thinking, oh, we're not close enough, like we're not that close. It's kind of weird, like after a few years. I can understand, okay, like, so this is weird too, on if that person were to be listening to this right now, that person might feel 서운해. 서운해 is hard to translate, but maybe sad, bitter, sweet, or like kind of disappointed, a mixture of all of that. Because he might have thought of me as like a very good friend, and he cared for me, and he wanted to really sincerely invite me to this wedding and all that. But then on my side, I'm like, people have different standards, right? Some people, if you have core memories, you're close. Some people are like the consistency of how much you contact each other, like regularly, all that. Some people think like if time just goes by and it fades away, then all that. Some people have different standards. So yeah, anyways, the bottom line, I missed the timing. And then I only discovered that his text was lying there after like 2 weeks. When I came back to Korea, I was doing all my businesses and I was scrolling through the texts, and I was like, oh shit, I left this text unattended. And it became so awkward. I was like, oh no, like I could see the preview, and it was like the date of like when we gather and have like dinner together, that's already passed, and the wedding date is actually like in a few days and such. So I was thinking through my mind, oh no, his perception of me, he would perceive that I was intentionally not reading his message because I don't think of him as a close person, and I don't want to go to his wedding, and I don't want to pay that money, because everyone, I'm telling you, every single person has that money thing in their mind, like it or not. Like, even though you're a pure person and you're just like, oh, I don't care about that money, like I want that person to just come, the mechanism is still there, because like the society functions that way. This is a huge part of Korean wedding culture, I'm telling you. So yeah, I was like, oh shit, he's gonna think of me as like I'm trying to like just cut him off entirely from my life. Like he's not worth my my congratulations or whatever. So yeah, and then I missed the timing, and maybe it's my bad, but then I was like, it's gonna be weird to text him after the group meeting and whatever. This I guess this was my bad, because like I'm a very introvert person, and I'm like very I'm not actually good with people that much. So I decided to kind of bury my head in the sand like an ostrich and look away. I was like, oh shit, it's already done. He's probably gonna think of me that I burnt the bridges with him, so might as well just like let it slide. And like, if you think cold-heartedly and realistically, the chances of actually meeting that person down the line in my life is actually very slim. Max, I would say once or twice in the near future, and other than that, we're not gonna meet. So I was like, okay, it already happened, so let's just let it slide. And yeah, that's probably not the best way to cope with it, but then at the moment I was just like kind of panicking and anxious, so that's just how I dealt with it. But then what happened is, a few days later, which is today, I was just on Instagram, and like this thing was totally off of my mind. I was like, okay, it's already water under the bridge, bridges are burnt, probably never gonna see him again. I was scrolling through Instagram, I was looking at the stories, and you know how stories just like go automatically to the next person. And then, oh shit, I think I was watching Anna's story, and then after Anna's story ended, it automatically went to his story, and it was his wedding, like it was like his wedding behind the scenes story. And then there were a lot of things, and then how I like, you just constantly click on it, so I already saw like 3 of his stories, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I unintentionally started to ignore, and then afterwards voluntarily kind of avoided the situation for 3 weeks now. He probably thinks I'm an asshole or whatever. I just don't want him in his life or whatever. And then now I saw his story, and I have a big fat blue check mark that really doesn't help me in these kind of situations when you want to be kind of under the radar, right? Like, the blue check marks actually very stand out. So I was like, oh shit, it happened. And yeah, I had no choice, and I had to just like go back and undo what was supposed to be, no, do what was supposed to be done. Like, just confront the situation, be straightforward about it, be honest about it. So this happened when okay, TMI, but this happened when I was taking a dump in the toilet today. I was like, I almost got like, what do you call it, the you know, Pyonbi. I don't know what it is, but yeah. So yeah, I went to the Kakao Talk, I read it, and sent him a long ass message actually explaining what happened. Like, I was on a business trip, I honestly saw your message, but I wanted to give it full attention, and I pushed it aside for a while. Then I forgot about it, and then it was too late. You already had the meeting, and then I thought that you might have think of me as of, you know, trying to cut our connections or whatever, and not trying to pay the money, blah blah blah. I was very upfront about it, and then but then I saw your story today and I could not ignore it, and I'm just sending you this message that, you know, we really had great memories, and I really truly want to congratulate you and celebrate your birthday. No, your wedding. What birthday? Your wedding, and I hope you have a great life, and like hopefully we can meet down the line again with the other exchange students, and your wife's beautiful, blah blah blah. I said all that shit. And then, okay, it was like a relief for me, but then it was kind of like still kind of constipated. That was the word I was thinking of, like, constipated. It's weird how it came out in this context, but I was still constipated in a sense, because I didn't feel really really good, because it all felt like excuses, and it all felt like an excuse for trying to delay as much as I can so that I can strategically not physically appear to his wedding and don't have to pay him, and just like try to just deal with the whole thing without paying any money, and just with words and a simple text. So I kind of felt bad in a sense, like, but it is what it is. Like, that's the best I could do. But then he was very cool about it. He responded and he was like, yeah, you know, like, it's all good. You know, hopefully we can meet, and let's gather together. And yeah, but this was very awkward, and this was a minor happening that happened today. And well, some people out there, I think extroverts or very social people, might not understand what's the big fuss about this, but you know, very introverted and delicate people like me, snowflakes like me, are very confused in these kind of situations, and sometimes we try to avoid these situations. But you know, I had to owe up to my own decision. But yeah, I did the right thing. You did your part. What more can you do? Yeah. But then I saw the pictures, and then I felt really bad, because like the other exchange students, like our friends, my mutual friends, were there, and they probably, you know, paid all the money and congratulated him and all that. So, but then it is what it is. So next time we gather together, it's gonna be a little awkward. Yeah, it's gonna be a little awkward. But yeah, so this was a little mishap that happened today, but this just extends to every single relationship you have in Korea. Once it becomes time of marriage, every single person starts going through their phone book and wonders, should I send an invitation to this person or not? What will the person think of me? Will they think I'm trying to get money out of them? Or it's just very weird. Like, it's a very subtle feeling that if you're not in this culture, you wouldn't get. But I recently got another message from a college friend as well too. Like, we were very close friends in first grade, but ever since, like, we kind of separated, because I was dating someone back then, and then I didn't give my friends attention, and we kind of got distance. And after, like, you know, a decade, he was like, I'm getting married, and he first said the exact, like, I'm not even making this up. Like, in his words, he's like, I'm not sending this because I want money from you. please do not think of it in that way. I truly am sending this because a lot of my college friends are coming, and I feel like, you know, we shared some moments together, even if it was from first grade. It would be great to reconnect with you and, you know, regroup and share what we're doing nowadays and blah 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 blah. And I hope my wedding could be like a medium for that. So that was a very mature way to say that. But the point is, like, he was just being very delicate with what kind of message he sent me, because, like, from his side too, he doesn't want to be seen as like a money hungry person, right? But then I don't know, there might be like a 10% incentive inside. You know, like, oh, if this person actually bites and it comes to my wedding, there will be no other choice for him other than to like actually pay $100. So it could be strategic. I don't know, right? Yeah. So, but you can always say no. So Korean people are not good at saying no. So if you imagine like an acquaintance sends you a wedding invitation saying like, it's, you know, we're getting married and like all happy, like a very lovely wedding invitation card, would you just say like, no, I'm not friends with you, so I'm not gonna go, I'm sorry? Would you say that? So usually what people like me or a lot of other Koreans do or say are like, oh, I'm sorry, I actually have a business trip then, or oh, I'm sorry, I'm actually going on a trip with my girlfriend, or oh, I'm sorry, like you make up excuses that you can't go, and that's usually considered as a refusal from the other side. The other side knows too. Like if you're in like a very ambiguous kind of like, you know, not so close relationship, and you say like, I'm preoccupied that day, I'm so sorry, but I wish you like a good wedding and all that, the person who's sending the message also gets the message. They're like, oh yeah, this person doesn't want to come, but like it's a polite way to just like yeah, you would totally say that? Really? Wow. Okay. Well, you're a badass. I can never. Yeah, to say you're traveling, have plans already. Exactly. So I would say most people say that kind of stuff, right? What if they say, I will love for you to come to my wedding, no gifts required? Then that's like a badass person too. But how many people would actually do that? Whoa, okay, wow. So today I put up in the pinned comment Europe trip survival fund and my PayPal link. If you can support, that would be great, because like I will have to survive the horrible, from what I've heard, Europe living costs and food costs and all that. I put that up just for fun, but in the meantime, I got from Gary $100 on PayPal. Thank you so much, Gary. Shout out to you. Pizza, massive mega jumbo pizza. Enjoy Europe. Dublin and Irish whiskey? Well, I wasn't planning to have that, but might as well try it, right? When I'm in London, if I can get it over there. I don't think I'll be able to go all the way to Ireland, but yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Gary. But what if they ask back what kind of plan? Then you have to BS your way out. I guess that's how it works. I just say sorry, I can't handle gatherings and get anxiety. Well, okay, like I'm not trying to shame you or anything, but the thing is, that kind of thing doesn't work in Korea, because what I've noticed is like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the word anxiety or like mental issues or whatever, like whatever you have like depression, these kind of symptoms or things are apparently real in the West. But in Korea, when you say these kind of words in a societal setting, like in your company or to your friends, and you say like, oh, I have 우울증 or depression or 불안감, like anxiety, stuff like that, they think of you as a very weird person. So like the relative perception of those kind of words is not really like, so that would create massive rumors of like, oh, that person's like, you know, unstable they're fragile. Oh, they have issues, and that would stigmatize you. So, I mean, as much as that is a valid reason and an acceptable one, and if that person is a true mature person, they would understand it. But then there would always be a risk of stigmatizing yourself, putting yourself out there unnecessarily. If you would say something like that, yeah. You're Asian and you just don't mind the perception? Well, that's badass for you as well too. Yeah. I know anxiety is real no matter where you live. Like, I'm not following the narrative. I'm just showing you the observation of how it's perceived in Asian culture. Yeah. But yeah, anyways. So I would just go with like, oh, I'm busy. I have a business trip. So like these kind of things are also very awkward too, because like in another situation when I actually pulled that card to a friend, to a person that sent me an invitation, I was like, oh, actually I'm going on a business trip on that day. I'm so sorry. But then I messed up because I just put up like a post of myself like eating at like a KBBQ place in Seoul that day, and that person read it. So it's like, that person might have thought like, oh shit, okay, he was bullshitting. But yeah, you do oopsies like that, but they'll understand. They're like, yeah, he's just didn't want to come. Anyways, that happened to me, and this is not just, I'm not just telling you because like this was an awkward situation that I wanted to share today, but this is like a societal phenomenon that is very common, is a common concern among like people in their early 30s, late 20s within Korea, like the congratulatory gift problem, the debate, like how much you want to give that person, who and how many people you're going to invite, what kind of layers of friends you're going to invite, all these kind of things. And that's why people are getting fed up with these transactional, monetary focused weddings. But at the end of the day, as I said, nobody has the courage or luxury to cut that vicious cycle, because this cycle has been going on for generations, and even parents have the motive to like recoup that money they've been paying to their own acquaintances for years. So parents will be like, oh, my son's getting married, you come to my wedding and then pay $100. Let me get that back. But then the problem really gets so recently I've been okay, so this is getting really complex. But then there are multiple factors. First of all, there's inflation. There's time and there's inflation which follows. So I went to a wedding, not even hypothetically, for real, in 2015, I think. Like, some people get married early, and then usually most of the people in college or in that circle go to that person's wedding because they're the first person, and it's like a huge celebration. It's like something super fresh and new, something to congratulate and celebrate together, right? So most of the people go there, so that person collects a lot of money, and then time goes by, and obviously as time goes, like you don't really connect, you don't really talk, and like 10 years later you have never talked to each other in like 6 years or 7 years or anything. So the question is, do you invite that person back? Some people might be like, hell yeah, like I paid $100 back then, I'm gonna get that back. Like, yeah, I don't give an F about like my rep or like my awkward situation or whatever. I'm gonna invite that person back no matter what. Some people like me maybe are like, I'm not that desperate to actually get that money back, or like, I mean, it's kind of awkward. Like, do I really have to invite that person? Like, let's just think that was like a one-off event, like just genuinely congratulating that person because like she was one of the first people getting married. But after like a decade, like, do I really have to go out of my way to like send out an invitation to a person that I haven't talked to like in 7 years just to get that $100 back? So like, it's person to person, like they have their own standards. For me personally, I wouldn't invite that person. I'm like, okay, it's fine. But there's that. And also there are cases like you could, okay, like even for the congratulatory money, the standards have changed. So as I said, nowadays people debate whether $50 is okay or not as a minimum price, because like inflation, like prices go up, and with $50 you can't do anything nowadays. And that's an exaggeration, but you get what I'm saying, right? So people are like, so the minimum cost has it has jumped to $100. So if I paid $50 back then at someone's wedding, and that person is invited after 5 years, and the norm has become $100, and that person is spending $100 to me, then that person will have thoughts in their mind too, because they have that book and they have that record of how many people and who paid $50 or whatever. So like all these factors in consideration, that is a pain in the ass, I will say. Yeah. So I don't know if you guys are following or you guys understand the sentiment at all, but this is how it is. Yeah, it's not just Koreans. In any Asian culture, saying you have mental health issues is taboo. Yeah, Ryan, thank you for verifying. I'm so confused. What's happening to David? No, I'm nothing's happening to me. I just had an uncomfortable confrontation with a person I knew that invited me to his wedding, and I accidentally and later I accidentally ignored his message, but I saw his Instagram story today getting married, so I had no choice but to actually follow up and congratulate him. But I might have been seen as an asshole that just wanted to like not go to his wedding and be a cheap person. Yeah. Okay, please tell us about your travels, David. Thank you so much, Rachel, for the $2. I will get into that topic in a while. But let me finish all my prepped talking points first. Thank you. Please remind me if you are staying until the end. A lot of people feel it's tit for tat and want to give what they received and vice versa. Yeah. So it's I don't know. It's getting over the top nowadays. If you go to weddings, some weddings now have kiosks. So it's for they already have those like bank accounts in the wedding. So actually, I'll show you one of my close hyung's wedding invite letter. So it's already a done wedding, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind. But yeah, he's a very handsome person with a very beautiful wife. But so I'm gonna cover up his face or whatever. But you already hear the ballad music, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna be careful not to show like any credentials or whatever, but yeah, you usually have like oh shit, stuff like that. You saw that, and if you scroll down, you have like poems over here, and then you can keep on scrolling down, and it's like wedding day, and then you got the calendar and like what date, what time it is, and there's a gallery you can flip through like a lot of pictures. There you go, and then you got the location and the map and all that. Also, if you go down over here, so I'll cover up the name, but I'll show you. Like, see? Oof, I can't show you. You can see like a bank account over there, right? There's like numbers, so you can literally send it via this e-card, and then you can put like messages over here on digital and information, blah 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 blah. So all these fancy stuff, very nice, right? Sounds like every Korean ballad ever. Yeah, but the wedding business over here is very very systemized, I would say. But anyways, yeah. Wow, 405 people. Okay, I guess you guys are enjoying the wedding talk. But let me catch up on some super chats. I really appreciate all the super chats. Rachel, thank you for the 2. Consider me your backup bride of things if things get tired. Rachel. Thank you so much. Muju Art, thank you for becoming a KPC member. If you're talking about it, you're still thinking about it. Face him, be honest with him, at least for yourself. Life is too short. I believe in you. Yes. So I guess, yeah, I did what was supposed to be done. You know, I'm a man. I manned up. Don't people ever just buy wedding presents? No. If you're close, you can do extra wedding presents, but it's mostly like money. 한국에서 결혼은 사실상 정부에서 하지 말라고 광고 중이라. In America too, like 20,000 is kind of normal. Are you talking about like the venue fees or something? In our culture, we are very open with money. All the gift money received is recorded in a notebook, and then the family refer to the notebook to decide how much to give when they're invited back. Yeah, that's pretty similar to us too. Yeah. Those seem to be very common now. My son, who is getting married in 3 weeks, has a website set up for their wedding. Yeah, it makes sense, right? I'm telling you, like, there's even crypto addresses. I literally saw a XRP address. Yeah. Hi David, I made the live for a change. Hello Lynn, and I noticed that you joined my Patreon. Thank you so much. Shout out to Lynn. Thank you so much. And yes, okay, I think I've talked enough about weddings, and I was originally just going to do this live for an hour, but it went way over time. But it's good for you guys, right? So I appreciate all 400 of you still sticking around. So please smash that like button before we get on to the next topic. Unfortunately, I don't get invited to many weddings. I end up not really speaking to them. It tells me they don't see me as very close. Oh, that's discouraging. But yeah, that's another feeling too, because like if you know someone's getting married and they don't invite you and you thought you're close to them, then that's like a disappointing feeling too. Yeah, but everything's very subjective. Yeah. Okay, so what was the next topic I was going to talk about? Okay, so leaving Seoul soon. So yeah, this part I can talk about my travel. So this was a dual meaning. So yes, I am going to Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and London in 4 days, I think. In 3 days? What? That is crazy. I haven't prepared anything. Literally nothing. I've been just so busy. Like for the past week, I was at Live Golf. Got a nice hat from there. But I was at Live Golf. I was working there as like an interpreter, translator, production assistant, blah blah blah. It was fun. I got to see like these great golfers. Bryson DeChambeau. I became a huge fan of him. It was really fun. Got some, money. Maybe that can cover a little bit for my Europe cost, but you can see in the pinned comment over here. Please donate to my Europe trip survival fund at paypal.me/koreanpizzaclub. If every one of you just sends $1, that would cover for the food costs, I guess. I heard that Northern Europe is extremely expensive. My mom has been nagging me for like the past 3 days. Like she's more worried than I am, saying like, "Oh my gosh, like you dudes, what is with you guys? Like you never prepare anything. You're going for like a 2-week trip to Europe and you haven't gone shopping. Do you even have your passport? You haven't packed anything. You didn't even change money." And she's like, "Do you know how expensive those Scandinavian countries are?" Like, yeah, but yeah, she's been warning me for the whole time. But anyways, maybe that crawled into my mind. So the Europe trip survival fund is over there if you want to support me and the channel, of course. But yeah, I'm leaving Seoul soon because of that trip in 3 days. It's going to be very fun. I have a very generous host that has planned out some very exciting events, parties. They have dress codes. There are going to be a lot of people. I'm kind of overwhelmed a little bit, quite honestly, because I'll probably be the only Asian over there, and I'm not going to feel very in place, like, you know. But I'm sure that my host is going to try to make me as comfortable as I can, and I have social skills as well too, so I'll try to mingle as much as I can. But I'm just not accustomed to Scandinavian culture that much, and let's see. But I really live for new experiences. I love traveling the world. I just couldn't miss out on this opportunity when my host proposed like this generous opportunity. So yeah, that's that. And after Sweden, Denmark, looking, doing some sightseeing and all that. I'm going to go over to Norway, which there is another generous host that I actually met in Seoul. Gave her a good lunch at, and her friends and her daughter, a good lunch at one of the Michelin restaurants that my friend owns over here. I hope she had a great time. Yeah, she's gonna be very generous and let me stay at her place when I'm in Norway. So at least I'm saving the cost for the accommodations for the whole trip. Yeah, so that's that. I'm gonna be going to London, and you might be wondering why London. It's because for the flights when I'm heading to Sweden, there are no direct flights from Korea. So I'll have to make a a layover, a transfer. So I think I'm gonna take Singapore Airlines to Singapore, and then Etihad, or was it Qatar, to Sweden, I think. So yeah, that's gonna be the first flight. But then when I'm coming back, I wanted to use some mileage points that my dad accumulated over the years on Korean Air, and it's about to expire. So, yeah, because there aren't any direct flights, my option was to go to either Frankfurt, Paris, or London, which are the nearest spots that have direct flights back to Korea, to Seoul, with Korean Air. So I had to choose among them, but right now I don't have any people that I know in Paris or Frankfurt at the moment, but Fatine is in London, and I know a few people in London as well too. So I was like, might as well just go to London. I've been there only when I was very young. I barely even remember anything, so I could hang out with Fatine. He could show me around a little bit, and yeah, that's how it became to go to London for like 2 days. But it's gonna be like a 2-week trip. So I'm ready for that. Actually, I'm not ready for that. I'm ready for the adventure and the experience and the fun, the food, and the fjords and like the Scandinavian culture and all that. So I'm super, super excited. It's a very unique experience for a person to ever get to visit that part of the world, I think. No hate, no shade or anything, but it's not a very common place to visit. Like, people would go to places like tropical places like Hawaii, Southeast Asia, maybe Japan, stuff like that, Cancun, Mexico. But people around me, at least for Koreans, not a lot of people have been to Scandinavia before. So it's gonna be is it Nordic or Scandinavian? Anyways, it's gonna be a very, very unique experience for me. I'm really, really hyped for the trip. I gotta get prepared tomorrow. I gotta get done with all my taxes. I need to file all my taxes within the 3 days. I need to start packing. I need to start changing money. I need to catch up with work. Yeah, I haven't been putting out content on KPC that much because of the Live Golf and visiting Busan for Parents' Day. And oh yeah, let me get to the next topic. This is a natural tangent, but I need to cover something else before I go. But actually, it's a natural tangent. So I'm leaving Seoul, but I'm leaving Seoul in the sense that I'm traveling, but quite literally as well too. I've made up my mind with this visit to Busan that I am indeed going to go live in Busan, because It's not that Busan is superior or anything. I think my vibes just go better with like a oceanic or seaside city like Busan. It's more chill. It's more warm. The waves and the sea, the beach just gives me comfort. My house is right in front of the beach. You've been probably seeing me spamming like Kwangali Beach on my Instagram stories for the past 4 days or something. Yeah, but like my productivity goes up when I'm near the beach. I just like the laid back vibes. People just chilling, all being happy. There's nobody being sad or depressed on the beach. Maybe they are in the inside, you never know, but at least on the outside, if you go around Seoul and if you go around Seoul Metro or like Gangnam or all these areas, people are very busy. They're very depressed on the outside, I would say. They're very emotionless. Yeah, that's the impression I get. And it's like very competitive. And I think I'm kind of done with that. And also, just to be honest, I was in Seoul because of a couple of reasons. First of all, my grandma was here in the first place, so like it was a mutually beneficial situation for me to live with her ever since college because she was here. She needed company. I was there for her, and then she could do some, cooking or like laundry or whatever for me, and I could focus on my work. So it was all good. But then now she's grown old, and she needs delicate care, medical attention, and all that. So needs someone to be fully by her side 24/7, and I just can't do that when I'm like in the office, going to meetings, going on business trips and all that. So it just only makes sense for her to move down to Busan where my parents are and my mom is. So that's what happened. And so yeah, I lived with my grandma I lived with her since 2011. That's when I came up from Busan to Seoul for college, and it's been 15 years I've lived with her, and now it's become time. So I was just very super grateful for all the time like she's made food for me, and she's we kept each other company and all that. So I really appreciated that, and I was super grateful. So I needed to show her a minimum amount, like a token of gratitude from me, and that's why I decided to go immediately after the Live Golf event to Busan to just buy her some good food, say that I was sincerely very thankful and grateful for her presence, for like half raising me, even as an adult, taking care of me and all that. And now that I wish she can rest. That sounds weird, but like you know what I'm saying, rest, and have a good time in Busan, just chill there with my doggos and all that. So yeah, that was the purpose of my visit, along with Parents' Day. So my parents are there too, so I took them all out to a very expensive signature iconic beef place, KBBQ place in Busan. It's called Haeundae Amsogalbi. It's the most famous beef place in Busan by far. It appears in movies. Celebrities go there. It's super overpriced. 2 ribs, like two strands of like ribs, beef, premium beef. It's like $60. Yeah, per person. So 4 of us went today, and it exceeded like $300. But I wasn't trying to be like a frugal person today or anything, because I was like, I can spend as much money as I want for my grandma and my parents, of course. But like, it was a special occasion for my grandma, and I'm very happy that I had the luxury to treat her a good meal, and celebrate and wish for a great new chapter, I guess, for her remaining life in Busan. And yeah, so anyways, going back, the reason I want to leave Busan was that my family, my direct family, is all living there. My mom, my dad, my grandma, my 2 dogs. I used to have 1 dog over here with my grandma, but she went down as well too. I might get her back after this Europe trip, but like we're still debating. But all my family is there. There's no like big reason for me to be in Seoul in this overpriced place. Right now I'm using the big apartment by myself, but like it feels very empty and hollow because my grandma's not there. Her luggage, her furniture is all out. And you know, there are a lot of business opportunities, not gonna lie, in Seoul. Like if I were to get like maybe a radio gig or do business meetings or do anything, everything's in Seoul. Like if I had to attend an event, it would happen in Seoul. So I think there is still some merit of being in Seoul, but at the end, if you look at my lifestyle right now, I'm doing remote work, I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing live streams, I do online stores. Everything's online. I can basically become a digital nomad. I can do my work anywhere in the world. That's why I can go to Europe right now, and I'm still going to be working over there. Heads up to my host. But yeah, so I was like, you know what? Like, it just makes sense for me to go to Busan now. Like, I think my phase in Seoul has ended, other than some of these business opportunities. Like, if so, the thing is, the trajectory is kind of set, but if something big comes up in the next month, next year, where my lease for my current house ends, unless something comes up within that, whether I get like a physical job over here that pays well, that I enjoy that much. If it's not that, I'm really considering to go down to Busan. And then, like, you know, there might be downsides, like all my friends are over here, but then how many times do I actually get along with my friends? I have some friends in Busan too, like a few, but I can make new friends over there. I could go into a tennis community or whatever. But yeah, I'm thinking of that. I just really love the vibes in Busan. It's a big city too. If you've never been to Busan, I really recommend, because it's totally different vibes to Seoul. It has all the infrastructure, it has all the department stores, all the good things, but it's just a little less compact and a little less busy. But there's a lot of old people nowadays. There's a very rapid decrease of young people. So sarcastically, a lot of people describe Busan as 노인과 바다. I think that's Hemingway. No, I don't know. But it's the old man and the sea. That's what literally Busan is. Nowadays we call it the old man, concrete, and the sea, because Busan has been developing a lot, because it's the second biggest city in Korea, and there have been massive apartments being built, but then there are no people to fill in those apartments, so they're all left empty. So people are saying it's like old man, concrete, and the sea. That's literally it. But yeah, if not Seoul, I would like the opportunity to live in either Busan or Incheon. Yeah, actually, when I went to Songdo for the Live Golf event, Songdo was pretty chill too. But then Songdo is a little too boring. It's very new. It's the infrastructure and everything is very great over there, but Songdo is just like a fraction of Incheon, and it's not that entertaining. Like Busan is way better, I would say. It has good restaurants, good vibes. Like, it's also a tourist city too, so it's very lively. There's always festivals going on. Yeah, it has history too. So I'm excited for you. Busan is a lovely city, and it's still big and lively in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. So some people might think, this is just in my head, but some people around me might think like, oh, he's retreating, because every Korean's goal is to come up to Seoul. And if you look at, like, if you just observe even my high school, where all the elites, all the smart people of Busan all go to. I went to a foreign language school, and we had to get tests to go to it. But 95% of all the graduates of my high school from Busan are all working in Seoul right now. Either they're doctors, pharmacists, lawyers, judges, whatever, like, yeah, Samsung, Hyundai, whatever. They're all working in Seoul. And only like one or two friends are working in Busan, and they're in like civil sectors or just like, you know, government jobs and all that. But it's just like there aren't any jobs in Busan, so young people just can't sustain their lives over there. But for me, I have the advantage of like working remote, so I might change my thoughts down the line. But this visit, I really had a big urge to relocate to Busan because of my family, essentially, and the privilege that I have to work remote and be where I want. And the city just fits my vibe, and lower rent, lower housing prices, of course, very, very big advantage there. And there's one more thing, but I forgot. Yeah, maybe I'll think of it soon. But that's my big declaration, I guess. But as I said, if I get more business in Seoul, and I have to follow where the opportunity and money is, and maybe be in the big league, not retire, not retreat, as they say in Korean terms. So let's see. But the big plan is, you know, when I turn 40 and I don't want to be like a huge player in this massive Squid Game, I will go to Busan. Yeah, that's gonna be my home. And also, like, I'm paranoid. I'm a very paranoid person, and I have a lot of bizarre thoughts and scenarios in my mind. So looking at the global geopolitical situations and the fragile world order right now, as I've always warned, it's either going to be Taiwan or South Korea where World War III breaks. So yeah, I'm fearful of that. And maybe I'm just overly fearful, and people say I'm an idiot, but just in case, you never know what happens. Seoul is going to be bombarded if there is a war. It's 30 minutes from North Korea. Their missiles can reach Seoul in 12 seconds. So Busan was the only place that was not taken by North Korea and China in the Korean War. So yeah, then there's that too. Yeah, so I'm just trying to up my chances of survival. Anyways, that was kind of going overboard. But yeah, so internally, I've already kind of solidified my mind of leaving Seoul sooner or later. We don't know if it's going to be next year, but oh yeah, the final piece of the puzzle has matched now. So I think I mentioned this before, but one obstacle that was preventing me of going down to Busan, I was actually thinking of this last year too, but one obstacle was my relationship, my co-partnership with Jin regarding Piroso, because of my online store. We had a storage here, the operations were here, and I had responsibility as a co-founder, co-partner with Jin. And if we were to actually operate and manage a business together, I'm a big believer in, you know, physical offices and physical work. Like, as much as I'm a remote worker, if you have other partners involved, and if you want things to get speedy and efficient, you got it. And of course, it's like an online business that we have like stock and like storage and everything, delivery. So it just only made sense. But yeah, why is this? Yeah, my screen just like suddenly froze. But because of that, I was kind of like tied physically. Wait, let me just refresh this. Oops, that's not it. There you go. Okay, the chat's back. But yeah, but then as I told you, like, we had a last clearance sale last week for Piroso. Jin is taking care of the last orders, and now he is going to exit from the business, and it's going to be my sole property now. We are very happy with the agreement between us. So yeah, that's happening. But now, like, I do not have any obligation or a burden in my heart that I'm like abandoning my partner and going to where it suits my own convenience, aka Busan. So now that that's out of the picture, I'm free to go anywhere I want, ideally. Yeah. So as for like the meetings that need me in Seoul, I can do Zoom meetings. If it's like a very urgent or in-person kind of thing that requires me absolutely to be here, then I could take the KTX. It only takes 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours to come. It's expensive, but yeah, if they require me to do something like that, I could come over here. So yeah, I think it'll work out, right? Yeah, you can also schedule trips to Seoul. Exactly. Yeah. David, try not to worry what you cannot control. You just need to try and live your best life every day. What happens was what was meant to happen. Ooh. Philosophical. No war talks, please. I was just on the brink of war yesterday. Was it India and Pakistan? I think I heard some news about that. Yeah. Stay safe, everybody. Yeah. Danny's gonna get mad. Yeah, I haven't actually thought of that because DKDK was out of the picture for a long time. But then now that we're back, but then you might have noticed on the DKDK channel that I've done a solo piece today, and Danny's been on like a business trip forever, and he's the one that first came to me and said, you know, we don't have any conflict or anything, we don't have any beef or whatever, like whatever you're imagining, but he just came to me and said like, oh shit, my new job requires me to go overseas like every other month and like for a long time. And it would be good for you like if you could handle the DK News solo for a while, and then I'll switch when he comes back and blah blah blah. But then he also kind of hinted like maybe this might not work out because like of his job, like it requires him physically in a lot of different countries. So we'll have to see how that works out. But at least for now, I do not have any obstacles in front of me. Yeah. Karina is not going to want to go to Busan? What do you mean? Yeah, but I just want to be a chill guy in Busan. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Whoa! I got the best notification in the world from Jeanette. Thank you for the $20 on PayPal. Pizza! Thank you so much. And the message is not popping up. I don't know why the LTE is so slow right now. It should come up real soon. PayPal is being very laggy right now. In the meantime, if you want to support my Europe trip and support me, prevent me from starving on the street with the crazy European costs, you can support me on the pinned comment. Yes. Wow, from Kenya. Whoa, that's a first. Thank you so much, Jeanette, for the 20. Safe travels. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. And yeah, on to the last news. Why am I in DK News mode suddenly? On to the last news, which is life update. So it was kind of mashed up into the previous topic I was talking about, but since I'm all alone over here now, I do have friends, but I'm a lone wolf. I work by myself at the studio right now. I don't have anybody with me. Jin's gone. This studio is not going out, by the way. Like I'm kind of stuck with this, and I'm paying rent every single month, and I feel like I'm not utilizing it to its full capacity, which is a burn. But yeah, anyways, yeah, right now at my apartment, my house, there's nobody there. It's just empty rooms, empty living room. I barely come out of my own room because like I don't have the need to. Sometimes I just take a quick trip to the kitchen when I'm just cooking rice. But yeah, that's basically it. And it's only been a week, but when I came back from the events and today from Busan, and I just opened the door, no dog greeting me, no, I can't say hi to grandma or anything. It's just like a void, like a big empty space. And sometimes it gets scary at nighttime, like, you know, when I'm just going to the kitchen, not of like ghosts or anything, but it's you get like this eerie feeling because it's just so empty. There's nobody there, and all the lights are out, because why would I have the lights on, you know? And yeah, even today when I just came back, I opened the door, there was nobody there. It was just silent. And if it was like a small space, I think it would be even better. It would actually be better, because like if it was just a one room, a studio, then you just open the door, you see all your like bed, desk, small kitchen, your laundry and all that. But then for me right now, if I open the door, it's just like an empty hallway, an empty room, an empty living room, nothing there. So yeah, it's just very lonely for me right now. And I never thought like the physical emptiness would affect my psychological mood or feeling, but I guess it does have some kind of effect, your surroundings, your environment. And the fact that I think it's maybe like phase wise, like, you know, the departure with Jin and Piroso, and me working more alone, just, you know, my wish was to scale a business and get more employees and whatever, but unfortunately it hasn't worked out. But then I'm not very down or demotivated by that. I don't think it as a defeat or anything, because like actually I went to church today and the pastor was talking about like failure, you know, the generic failure is the success of failure is the mother of success, something like that. It even appears in the Bible, all that. So yeah, so I feel like everything is a great experience for me, and I don't think I failed in anything actually. Like in a third person's point of view, a lot of my friends, a lot of my viewers, and a lot of people always encourage me, saying like, whoa, like look at the platform you have, the fact that 400 people are watching you, the fact that people across the globe are buying, you know, unique Korean products, and you're actually making money out of an online store while 90% of the online stores shut down in the first month without generating any revenue, blah blah blah. You have so many gigs, remote work, blah blah blah. So yeah, I don't think of myself as a failure, but then like comparison is also the mother of anxiety and all that. So, and a humans greed and humans humans desire to escalate is never ending. And I'm just surrounded by so many successful people, like bigger influencers. Social media takes a role in that too, and I try not to, and I try to be content. I intentionally try to do that, but then, like as I told you, I never thought like the emptiness of my house would get into my head. But as it's affecting me subtly, like these things like social media, people around me, like other CEOs and other business owners I know that are in similar sectors being super successful, that gets into my head as well. And that's just being like a I guess a human, a mortal, right? So I'm no like hermit, or I'm no like I'm not Buddha. I haven't reached nirvana or anything. So, but yeah, these things are getting into my head. I should try to. Nowadays I'm just trying to, since I'm talking about life update. I've said this a lot of times, but I'm trying to focus more on my health, because I feel like this is another problem too. So it's not just generically saying like, oh, I'm just trying to be healthy, I'm gonna hit the gym more. I think it's all like a chain effect. Ever since like I lived alone, it's only been like 2 weeks so far. But even before that, when my grandma became more weaker and she couldn't really like take care of me that much, my a big part of the whole routine or system, or my daily system that I have, was kind of malfunctioning, which led to more delivery food, which led to like not eating at home, more nights out at the studio, at the office, and all that. Because I didn't socialize with more people, I just didn't really like interact with more people, just be myself. I didn't really take care of myself in terms of appearance or, health as well. So it all kind of like slowly infiltrated and formed bad habits, and that has affected my my physical well-being right now. And it's become kind of alerting, because I have to admit I've gained a lot of weight. And like of course weight isn't a metric, but then if you gain a lot of fat and your BMI is not good, is over proportioned, that's not good. And a big red flag is that both my grandma and my mom, who have never said in their lives that you look fat, have started to say like, not out of like, they're not saying like I'm obese or anything. They're not trying to fat shame me or anything. They're saying I'm slightly concerned that I'm seeing a lot of fat on your belly, or like you seem pretty bulked up right now, and maybe you might want to go hit the gym or eat healthy. And they're coming out of feeling of concern and love, because now my grandma isn't going to be at my side, and she won't be able to make me healthy food, home cooked meals and all that. And they know that I'll be relying on delivery food. But then now I'm going to the supermarket more and more. There's an E-Mart next to me, and I'm discovering new cooking methods and meal kits and single person servings and food and all that. So I'm getting more into like cooking nowadays, just to get more healthy food. But then it's, like if you think of like the time and effort you put into cooking and all that, like sometimes you just want to resort to like the more convenient side. So all these kind of things are intertwined with my daily habits, my routine and all that. So yeah, I'm feeling lonely. It's affecting my mental health, maybe not affecting my mental health yet, but it's giving me some kind of feels. I really need to focus on eating healthy and exercising, even though I'm alone. Maybe I'm that kind of person that needs someone to put me in check, someone around me that needs to like, motivate me or something. Maybe I lack willpower, but yeah, that's just what I wanted to share. But in general, I've been having the time of my life nowadays, because Coldplay, fantastic concert, live golf, really fun, Busan for a week with my parents, my dogs, my grandma. It was amazing. So I've been I've been overwhelmed with happiness and joy for the past month. So that's good, right? And then now it's Europe. So Yeah, actually, I'm in like a very happy, like a very ec- ecstatic state right now, and I'm really blessed, I would say. But I'm kind of concerned about after Europe when I actually have to like get things done by myself in Seoul, all by myself. Um, it's not a challenge or anything, but it's just like a shift in my daily routine. So there's gonna be adaptation process, and I'm just curious. I'm just curious as to what to expect, what's gonna be different, and how's that gonna affect my work and all that. Yeah. Chill on those thoughts. You doing major things, you feel me? Okay, Dom Perignon is your name sounds like Dom Perignon. But thank you for the encouragement. It sounds like a very positive change. Good for you, David. I'm really happy for you. Sorry you feel lonely. It's your soul calling you to reach out and connect. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Take an opportunity to learn to cook basic meals. It's so important in a partner. Yeah, I know, right? So yeah, this is a new opportunity to learn how to cook, I guess, right? Oh, and I'm also feeling great nowadays. Oh wow. Okay, let them rain. Let it rain. I'm just kidding, but wow, instant financial treatment. Okay, instant financial treatment on the PayPal Europe Fund, Survival Fund. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay. Samuel. Whoa, enjoy Europe. Thank you so much for the 100. Holy smokes. Wow, thank you so much. This cured all my anxiety, anxiety. Yeah, anything, everything. Thank you so much. Pizza. And Stella, thank you for the 10. Have a nice trip in Europe. Thank you so much. And Lynn for the 25. Have fun on your trip and send us pictures. I will. For sure. I can't guarantee a vlog, but I'm definitely going to do a podcast over there with my host and his guests. So yeah, look forward to that. I'll give you a glimpse of Europe definitely through Instagram. Go follow me on JustDavid92. And Sue, thank you for the 20 Canadian dollars. Have a good trip from a silent M. But long time viewer, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, this is curing all all my worries right now. I forgot what I was trying to say. I totally forgot. Yeah, because I got bombarded by these. Yeah, that's what they say in Korea. Financial treatment is the best treatment. You don't need no therapy. Financial treatment is the best. Yeah. Actually, I was trying to say something about money, but then it just naturally led to the PayPals. But I totally forgot. Yeah. Money always makes Dave smile. Yes. It makes me happy. Star, thank you for the 5 years. Sorry to hear that. You'll find your own rhythm. Get into a nice routine. When feeling down, don't stay there. It can turn into actual depression. Yes, I will take your words seriously because I have been in those near states of depression before, especially when I was getting a lot of hate comments back then, getting canceled here and there, left and right, and I was in some dark. There were some dark times, I will confess, but now it's all good. Just enjoy your trip, then go to Busan and be with your family. Yeah. Yes. What about the standing desk and the treadmill? Yes. I will. So my plan is the empty room, my grandma's room. I'm gonna turn that. So this space is going to have to go at least max in like 4 months, because even though I misread the contract, I am legally allowed to leave this space in 4 months. So I can do that. Hopefully it goes out before that, but even so, I'll try to put I'll try to make like a mini studio in my grandma's room. That was the original plan anyways. And then do the live streams over there so I don't have to go back and forth in the middle of the night. It's 2:40 a.m. right now. It's like it's close by, but still, like I can just stay in the warmth of my house, go right to bed right after. Yeah, like door to door, it does waste like 30 minutes at least. And you know, if you're walking outside, it just refreshes your physical biological clock and all that, so it resets that. But yeah, I'm just gonna that's a good reminder. I'm gonna actually establish that setting. David, don't forget, even accomplished people have their own insecurities. Most celebrities feel lonely too, so it's a mindset. We will try to be more mindful with criticism. Yes, thank you. Yeah, everyone has their own insecurities, right? I'm just a person that has a little bit more than normal people. A lot of people tell me. Yeah. But, oh, yes. Oh my god, actually, you know what? Oh, wow. What? Is this? What? Okay, Kelly, thank you for the 100. Wish we could have met up while I'm here, but travel safe and enjoy. Kelly, Kelly, when are you staying till? Because I still got 3 days. I still got 3 days. Let me at least treat you some good. I don't know. Like, yeah, you've been too generous to me. But thank you so much. Yeah, hit me up. Like, email me, DM me, or whatever. Yeah, whichever. Yeah, for the last treat with my host, I contacted via email. So yeah, please let me know. And Detonia, thank you for the 25. Enjoy your trip. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate all the love. I'm healed. I'm healed. And also, yeah, okay, so everybody's waiting for the check marks, the bingo cards for today. I haven't checked any of them, but I like AI. Is it I or AI like? Bitcoin and ETH is up. Thank you, God. I was praying today. I know that's like bad faith, but I was praying today at church saying, God, please let Bitcoin and ETH go up to its all-time high. Please make me safely escape from my position right now. So I've been down. I'll be honest, I've been down a lot on crypto because it was like a very bloody market, but there has been a recent very big rebound, especially in ETH and Bitcoin. It's almost at its all-time high. Bitcoin's at like 104K or something right now. And I have some savings in there. And I was very depressed. Like, people who are addicted to crypto or stocks or whatever, their daily moods depend on their portfolios and their ups and downs, their performances. So that is one thing I was actually going to talk about. So recently, because of the big rebound, it might go down again. I don't care, but temporarily, it's been giving me some good dopamine, adrenaline boosts. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Till the 21st. Okay, I'll check my DM box. Have you seen the Thunderbolts? I don't intend to actually watch that movie because I've seen the trailers and I don't like the side heroes. I'm discriminating, but I'm a more mainstream kind of person, so I like the Avengers and they're the canon heroes, but yeah. No hate. Okay, so the Bitcoin bingo card is checked out, but there's another bingo card. You guys all know what it is, right? Can't go home without saying this, right? Try to guess. Let me know in the chat if you know what it is. You already see it over here, which is If you want free events, tours, parties, classes, and more in Korea with Korean people or international folks, make friends, study Korean, it is Sue House where you have to go. You can download the Sue House app on Google Play Store, App Store, and is the best community online, virtually, offline in Korea as well. If you go to their Instagram account, which is SueHouse_official, expats home in Korea, the hub of opportunity for expats. Connect, experience, grow at Sue House, the best community for foreigners. And wow, they have an Olive Young Global Mall recruiting content creator. Okay, so they're recruiting content creators. Everyone can be a content creator nowadays. Like, you just have to make short form content on TikTok or whatever, right? You can upload it and they give you 100,000 Korean won. Okay. Wow, okay. Yeah, that's great. All these kind of things. What is this? La Terrace Cointreau by Afterworks. Oh, what is this? A luxury rooftop night at Vertigo Conrad Hotel Yoido, May 8th. Oh, it's actually done. Mingle with Seoul's most inspiring creative CEOs and entrepreneurs. What? I needed to go there. I missed that. Okay, wow. They have a lot of events going on, so please do check out their Instagram account. What is this? Mad Korean Class Spring. So this was 2 days ago, May 10th. Picnic. They had sweet and sour chicken, kimbap, highball, gin tonic, Malibu soft drinks. Wow, everything just for 40,000 won at Han River. Look how fun this is. Wow. Okay, so if you want to connect, go to Sue House. This is the landing page here, landing.suehouse.app. And your great way to learning language. Embark on a thrilling journey of language discovery on an innovative platform. Meet new people, events in Korea, everything over here. Join the events, learn Korean, drama lines, and all that. Go check it out, guys. Okay, yes. Bingo card. Do I have more bingo cards left? Wow, but seriously, thank you so much for all the PayPals. This is definitely gonna cover definitely most of my food costs. Yeah, for sure. This is definitely gonna cover. Thank you so much, guys. And it is 2:50 a.m. over here, and I probably need to go to sleep because I need to file my taxes tomorrow and get a lot of work done before I go to Europe. So I am aiming to put out at least a podcast episode. I have to put out a Singapore podcast episode, which is, it might not be your cup of tea. Just give you a heads up. It's about the environment and sustainability. Might be a little boring to some people, but I would appreciate if you can just like play it on the background, or just mute it or whatever if you're not interested. I think I might get on into editing that and upload that before I go. I do have two podcast episodes in stock. I don't know if I'll be able to actually edit them before I go, but yeah, I'll try my best to put out content. And I don't know if I can do the KPC lives over there. There might be some environments I can. In some Wi-Fi settings. So let's see about that. We want you to eat well on vacay. I will make sure that I eat healthy. I have made a pledge to myself that I will not feed myself junk food anymore. So I'm a massive junk food lover. I love McDonald's, Burger King, Mom's Touch, everything. But I'm going to cut down on that. I'm going to eat healthy. And healthy food is expensive. But yes, W, tax evasion. Yeah, let's see what my accountant, tax accountant? No, tax, I don't know what 해무사 is in English. Can do. Safe travels. Thank you so much. I'll give you updates before I go. Hopefully some content. Thanks everybody for watching today's stream. I hope you enjoyed the marriage uncomfortable situation talk and a little bit of my life updates. If you want the Korean news or entertainment news, you can check out DKDKTV and DK News. I also have an after show over there. I will try to get back with the Korean news. If I have time on Tuesday, I might as well do another KPC live with the K news. So let's see if I don't have too much on my hands. But yeah, David needs to eat cactus. He will love it. Okay. Kel, thank you for going live even after your travels today. Enjoy your travels and take care. I can't wait to hear about them all once you're home and settled. Thank you. Good night, Lynn, Amoka, basically me. Thanks for the live. Eileen, enjoy your travels. Thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you. Hope you have a wonderful week ahead and a wonderful day, wonderful night, lunch, dinner, and may everyone stay safe and happy. And bye-bye. I will see you soon. Bye.